The first warning came from the gas station attendant with the glassy eyes and the nicotine-stained fingers. "Don't look back in them woods," he muttered when I told him where I was headed. "Not once. Doesn't matter what you hear. Doesn't matter what calls your name." I laughed it off at the time. I wish I hadn't. My name is Alyssa Hart, 27 years old, travel journalist, lover of abandoned places and forgotten legends. Every October, I take a solo trip to document eerie folklore for my niche horror blog. My audience loves true scary stories from real places, and Appalachia, ancient mountains older than bones, always had a hold on me. This year's focus, the Shadow Wanderer of Raven's Holler, a local legend buried so deep in mountain whispers that even the internet barely touched it. The story said a man once walked into the mountains, searching for his missing daughter. He never returned, at least not alive. They said if you looked back when walking those woods, he'd follow you forever. If you turned around, he'd catch you. Just superstition, right? I reached Raven's Holler near dusk, the sky bruised purple behind endless tree lines that looked like they were breathing. A small cabin I'd rented waited at the foot of the woods, old timber bones, moss-kissed roof, and a creak in every board. It sat alone, as if the forest had pushed every other home miles away. Inside, everything smelled like cedar and dust. A single lamp cast honey light across handmade quilts, photos of long-gone families, and a rocking chair that faced the window like someone had just been sitting in it. I ignored the shiver climbing my spine and told myself I loved this stuff. Darkness makes stories, I reminded myself. Darkness pays the bills. I dropped my backpack and started recording notes. Day 1 entry, 6:43 p.m. Arrived at Raven's Holler. Locals are superstitious. One man warned me not to look back in the woods. I think he was serious. Excited. A little uneasy. Perfect atmosphere. As I spoke, something flickered in the corner of my eye, outside the window. But when I turned, nothing stood there but trees, black pillars against twilight. I set alarms, unpacked, boiled water for tea, and planned the next day's hike. Outside, wind whispered through branches like someone breathing too close to my ear. When night fell completely, the forest didn't quiet. It awakened. Twigs cracking, leaves shifting. A low, rhythmic tapping like knuckles on wood. I journaled again, but this entry was shorter. 11:52 p.m. Something is out there. I chalked it up to wildlife and wrapped myself in a blanket. Sleep wouldn't come. My heart kept tripping over itself. Every time I almost drifted off, I heard it, pacing movements just outside the cabin. Steps. Pause. Breath. Scratch on wood. I finally snapped the curtain open, nothing. But the rocking chair was moving. Slowly. Rock. Rock. There hadn't been wind. I stayed awake until dawn smeared pale light across the world. When birds sang again, fear felt foolish. Morning has a way of erasing monsters. And so I went hiking. The trail into the woods was narrow, almost hidden, like the trees wanted to keep it secret. Fog curled around the roots, clinging like pale fingers. I hit record on my mic. Locals say once you enter the trail, you must never look back, I narrated. The wander follows those who disturb his woods. Birds fell silent. A hush so complete it felt placed, like the forest was holding its breath. My boots sank into soil soft as ash. I walked an hour in eerie quiet before I found the first sign something was wrong. Footsteps behind me. Slow. Heavy. Matching my pace. Every instinct screamed look. But the warning buzzed in my skull. Don't look back. I kept moving, counting breaths, forcing steady steps. A voice drifted behind me. Alyssa. My blood froze. No one knew my route. No one should have been there. Alyssa, come back. Not a stranger's voice. My mother's. Ridiculous. She lived 3 states away. Logic told me it was a trick of the wind. Logic also told me to turn around and confirm. Logic isn't useful when you're prey. I kept walking. Leaves shook. Branches snapped. Footsteps quickened. Alyssa, sweetheart, please. I nearly broke. I bit my lip until it bled and whispered, "You're not real." The voice shifted, lower, wrong. A man's rasp under my mother's tone. Look at me. I walked faster. The air thickened like syrup, dragging against my limbs. Shadows weaved between trees like they moved on their own. Then, a soft cry. A little girl. Help me, please. I'm lost. It stabbed my heart. Childhood memories clawed up. Me lost at a store once, crying for my mom. I stopped breathing, feet ready to pivot, to help. But the legend hammered in my head. Not once. Don't look back. I forced myself forward, tears burning. The child voice twisted, turning into laughter. Wet, broken. The woods darkened until daylight felt miles away. Something brushed my hair, though nothing was near me. Cold breath grazed my neck. Then footsteps surged behind me, sprinting. Every primal instinct screamed run. So I ran. Branches whipped my face. Roots clawed my boots. The footsteps thundered right behind me, inhumanly fast, breathing sharp, like someone whose lungs weren't meant to breathe anymore. And then, silence. I stumbled to a stop, chest burning, and for the tiniest moment, I forgot not to turn around, instinct reaching, needing to know. My muscles twitched. A whisper coiled around my skull. Just one glance. I clenched my jaw so hard it ached, squeezed my eyes shut, and kept forward. Somehow, I made it back to the cabin. My legs shook so violently I collapsed inside and slammed the door. Something hit it right after, once, heavy like a body. Then nothing. Night came fast. A storm rolled in, wind howling like wolves mourning. I sat on the bed clutching a kitchen knife like it could help. I recorded again, voice shaking. Day 2, 9:17 p.m. There's something in those woods. It calls to you. It knows you. It lies. I heard my mother, then a child, and something else. You must not look. Thunder crashed. Lights flickered. And then from the porch, knock, knock, knock. I froze. A voice came through the door, clear as rainwater. Miss, you alright in there? We got a storm warning. Roads flood easy. Best head down to town. Relief surged. A ranger? Someone real. I grabbed my coat, rushing to the door, then stopped inches from opening it. The voice was calm, human, but I hadn't heard any truck. No footsteps approached. Nothing creaked on the porch. Open up, the voice repeated, a crack in the tone now. You need to come out. Roads get deadly. Something in its cadence was wrong, like someone trying to sound human. A second voice joined, identical. Then a third. Open up. Open up. Open up. I backed away slowly. The voices dropped into a low, guttural sound. Then silence. Lightning flashed, and through the window, I saw a silhouette. Tall. Thin. Too thin. Head bent, at a jagged angle. Arms too long, hanging like broken branches. I choked on a scream. The figure pressed a hand to the window. Fingers spread. Too many joints. Then a whisper against the glass, from a mouth I couldn't see. You looked. I slapped my hand over my mouth, shaking uncontrollably. I hadn't. I knew I hadn't. But doubt is poison. The rain blurred the window, and when lightning struck again, the figure was gone. I stayed awake until dawn again. Morning bled normalcy over terror once more. Day 3, I planned to leave. The forest felt alive, watching. Every twig snap made me twitch. But my keys were gone. My phone, dead though it had been charging. My backpack moved, though I hadn't touched it. I wasn't alone here. Still, I walked toward town, refusing to enter the woods again. The road felt safe enough, lined by trees but open. The silence followed me. Even insects didn't dare exist here. Halfway down the road, I heard it again, footsteps behind me. Slow. Deliberate. I didn't look. Something whispered, "Good girl." I nearly vomited. I walked faster. The steps stayed behind me, sometimes far, sometimes so close I could feel the heat, or cold, of someone's breath. Hours passed. My legs screamed. Then the road curved, and I saw someone ahead. A man in worn clothes, old hat, carrying a lantern. A trapper maybe. A farmer. He waved me forward. You all right there, miss? His voice, real. Warm. Alive. I stumbled toward him. Please help me. Something's following me. His face tightened. You didn't look back, did you? No, I don't think so. He nodded slowly like that sealed something. Then keep walking. Don't look behind me. Don't speak to it. You're almost out. Oh God. Don't say God here.
They don't like it.
My blood froze. I looked past him, a ridge. Civilization beyond it.
Hope.
Go, he urged softly. And whatever you do, don't. His voice cut off. Silence. I stepped closer, and his body hit the ground. Headless. No sound. No struggle. One moment alive, next gone. Blood poured into dirt like ink, eaten up by the earth before it spread. A whisper crawled behind me. Alyssa. I ran like hell, tears blinding me. My muscles tore. Breath burned. A sound followed, like something dragging itself, fast and wet, right behind me. I reached the ridge, vision swimming, and broke through tree line onto gravel.
Cars.
Gas station. Civilization. A scream ripped out of me as my body gave up, collapsing.
Someone caught me.
Voices human and urgent replaced whispers. Miss, can you hear me? I cried like a child. Don't let it follow me. They didn't understand. They tried to calm me. People looked at me, alive, normal people. I made it. I survived. But just before I blacked out, I heard it, faint, right behind my ear. You looked. I woke in a motel room, wrapped in blankets. Police questioned me. Locals called me, shaken by the woods. They said they found no footprints near mine. They never found the trapper's body. They said no one lived out there for decades. I left. I tried to live normally. New city.
New job.
New life. 2 weeks later, while brushing my teeth, I saw a smudge in the mirror behind me. A shape.
Thin.
Tilted head. Too many joints in the fingers. I dropped the toothbrush. The figure whispered. Just one glance. I ran. I slept in hotels. I boarded planes. But wherever I go, I hear footsteps behind me, especially at night. And if I ever slow down, I hear breathing inches from my neck. Always behind me. I've never looked back. Not once. But I feel him waiting. Patient. Forever. And every night, he gets closer. If you ever hike in Appalachia and something calls your name, don't look back. Ever.